like, I was amazed at working with him. I felt like I was working with somebody that we're going to see for 50 years acting with this incredible talent. I knew I was in the midst of something special. Like, so I was like honored to be like, I'm in the first movie that he's doing in America. People always look back at that, you know what I mean? At some point. But yeah, I seen a clip of him doing that movie in Italian. I really was like, man, is this kid from Italy? I think he was that great in speaking and just the scenes. I was like amazed.
How was it I'm sorry, I just want to, in regard to holding a gun, is it scary at all for you, Common, and you being the one that's teaching your nephew, your characters, how to use it? What was that like?
Yeah, it was very scary. Because when I first shot it, the gun is so powerful that it would fall out of my hand. I was so scared.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, I really like get into the characters. So initially, just teaching him to shoot guns, like I was just in the mode of what Vincent was thinking. But you know, when I did see that it really was affecting him, you know, I felt for him, like, and I felt like I started thinking about all the young kids that have to go through those things, like, and the fears and how it make your heart jump to shoot a gun first, and then like, so I really was feeling emotional about it to a certain extent, but as Vincent would, I just had to stay, you know, on the course of teaching him what I needed to teach him.
So how was Michael casted? I believe there was another person that was casted for the role initially.
Well, I mean, it was a young man who Sheldon and a lot of the casting director really felt good about. And I thought he did a great job too. But I was like, man, we need that just undeniable, incredible, amazing, fall out the sky kid, you know. And we had that. It came through somebody that Michael's mom and somebody who worked with Michael doing graffiti knew this photographer we know named Johnny Nunez, who knew somebody else we know, and then Sheldon drove up and met Michael and his mom, and then they eventually came to Baltimore because we were out there prepping for the movie, and we had a dinner at a friend's house, and as soon as Michael walked in, and just, you know, I got to talk to him, I was like, man, this is our guy right here. It's like, it was just divine, and you know it. You know, like anything, we all know certain things when you know it. I knew that he was the kid.
Were some scenes in the movie harder to film than others, and if so, why?
One of the most difficult scenes for me to film was like when we were in the subway, and like we just come from running. I chased him, and then and it was like a scene where I remember it was difficult for me, honestly, because Sheldon at one point had told me, like, man, you know, this is where he hit an emotional place, and I kind of, for me as an actor, it's hard for me to say, oh, I mean, I kind of like being in the moment, like, and seeing what really come out from the character instead of just being like, okay, this is the point where you cry, you know, like, and so that was difficult for me to try to just get out of my mind what was told to me and just let the truth come out. And yeah, it was difficult. What was the difficult scene for you?
The Enoch scene.
Oh yeah, the Enoch scene. Y'all know that scene?
Yeah. Did you talk about why? Why was it for W?
Yeah, why was it for the
The part when they knock us on the floor, that's so scary.
Yeah. I mean that when that happened, I remember Michael definitely being affected because you know, you got these men holding you, and it's like, yeah, we both was in it at that point. I remember like I don't know if they kept it on screen, but I remember just tearing up, like, man, because you know you do see your life like leave, and you like, man, I could die. You know, and you just feel the energy of people on top of you, you know, kicking at you and pushing your face to the ground. You just feel it, you know, and it's what people we go through sometimes. So it's like, yeah, that was a difficult scene.
Question for you, Common. Yeah. When preparing for your role as Vincent, being a native of Chicago, being familiar with the, you know, what it can be as far as the life in the street, did you reach back to any personal experiences or experiences that you may have witnessed with people that were close to you to prepare for the role?
Well, I mean, I think, it's something about, like, when you grow up in a place, you kind of, it walks with you no matter what, like, it like seep into your being as part of who you are. So I definitely was able to go back to certain experiences I've had in Chicago. And then at the same token, I also was able to build on that by being in Baltimore and just like digesting their lifestyle. And even though some of it, obviously, some of it is very, inner city is an inner city, point blank. But I still was like, I wanted to find out some things specific to Baltimore so I could bring that. Because one thing I like about like certain, when you see certain movies, you feel like you are in that world. Like, for me, I always reference like The Fighter or The Town. When you see those movies or The Departed, like you feel like you in Boston or Massachusetts. Everybody talk like that, everybody. So I wanted to be able to give, and I wanted us to be able to give like, you are in Baltimore by the way we move, by the way we talk, the way we carry ourselves. So I brought some Chicago, street experience, but then I just gave it all Baltimore for me.